Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Pagey here, once again with another video, and this is on Legends of Tomorrow and the Green Arrow's appearance on there. Now, recently, in like the past day essentially, the synopsis for episode 6, which will feature the Green Arrow, was released. Now the title of this episode is Star City 2046, so it's going to be set in Star City in the year 2046. But we'll get into the synopsis now, and then go through it after. When a malfunction sends the Wave Rider crashing into 2046 Star City, our heroes face a startling version of their own future, where they never stop Savage and never return home. The city is in ruins and overrun by criminals, which thrills Heatwave. Sarah, or the White Canary, is despondent over the destruction of her home and stunned when she learns what happened to her old friend, Oliver Queen. So this episode sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun, just due to the fact that this isn't going to be an episode where they're going to be trying to stop Vandal Savage, because they need to stop him in the past. This is basically a lesson, what their future is going to turn into if they do not stop him in the past. This is basically like a reminder to spur them on to try and defeat him. Obviously, the major things that are happening in this episode, we are going to get probably Heatwave meddling in with some of the, basically making it even worse, because it's basically the world's turned into something that he'd probably fit into. It's overrun by criminals. He was always like an outsider. If you're a criminal in general society, you're an outsider, but now society is run by criminals and just filled with them, so he'd fit in straight away. Also, we're going to get Sarah, who is obviously going to have this massive arc, well not massive, but an arc in this episode, just due to the fact that basically everyone that she knows would have died, you'd think. If Oliver Queen's in this episode, he's going to be sort of, a bit down, and I'll explain that after, but Laurel's probably going to be dead, her father's probably going to be dead, maybe her mother's dead. Everyone that she's known and loved might be dead, so she might have a massive arc in this story. She might even visit their graves. And obviously the major thing in this episode, and the thing that a lot of people are getting excited about, is that Oliver Queen is in this episode, but this is a much older version of himself. This is 30 years from where Arrow is at the moment. So Oliver Queen would be about late 50s, early 60s. So he's decently old. He'd definitely be retired, you would think. But there's one thing that's two things that's pretty big in this episode with him. The first one is that we will get Oliver Queen with a goatee. It might be a bit more of a long goatee, not like the fine, nicely trimmed one that we're used to the Green Arrow having in the comics. But he will also only have one arm, which is really interesting. If you read The Dark Knight Returns and stuff like that, or even just watched the movies, I think there's a part 1 and a part 2, you would know that Oliver Queen in that story only has one arm. Stuff to do with Superman, you can go watch it or read it if you want to. But obviously Superman doesn't exist in this universe, so maybe Vandal Savage is responsible for him only having one arm. And maybe I have a feeling Oliver Queen might have a story time, but a bit darker story time. And he'll go over what happened, because he would have known that they would have left. Because we got to remember, they never return home. The Legends never return home, so Ray Palmer doesn't come back to Star City. If you remember in the first episode, that Ray would get dropped back to the point where just after they had that conversation, so it just seemed like he wasn't really gone. So they never come back, they never stop Savage. I'm assuming they die maybe, I'm not too sure. But essentially, Oliver would just probably go over what happened. You guys never came back. Savage was even worse than he ever was. He destroyed Star City, maybe even Central City, killed all these people, killed Laurel, killed Thea, killed Roy, killed Captain Lance, killed everyone. And it'll be a pretty cool backstory if we get that. If they don't do that, I'd be a bit disappointed. They might do a small one where Oliver Queen just goes over what happened. But we did get a shot in the trailer for Legends of Tomorrow where we did see like the Arrow Cave with all these sheets over it, as if it was business closed, if you know what I mean. But I do think this would be one of the more interesting episodes of Legends of Tomorrow, because it's basically like a reminder for the legends of all the legends in the crew that this is what your Earth's going to turn into if you do not stop Vandal Savage. So I think it'll be a pretty damn cool episode just to see what Star City turns into. But leave your opinions in the comment section below. Are you looking forward to this episode? Are you looking forward to seeing just the Green Arrow when he's older? But yeah, leave them in the comment section. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe if you're new. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.